So over the last 5 years, I've been predicting every year the iGCSE 0580 maths exam. And historically, over those videos, you can check them out in the description, I've historically had a 70% accuracy rate. So today is that moment where I predict the May 2026 exams coming up very, very soon. And by using my frequency analysis, my experience, I've been teaching iGCSE for 15 years, I can give you a unique insight that many can't out there in the world to make sure that you are fully prepared for the exams that are coming. Right, let's get started. So let's get straight in here. These are for the exams. The first one, paper 2, on the 29th of April and paper 4 on the 5th of May 2026. So let's go through my paper 2 predictions, and we're going to start off here with probability. All the questions that you see in front of you are genuine Cambridge questions, and they really go through the kinds of questions I'm expecting on this exam. So this is 94%, so it's basically got a almost certain chance of appearing here. And notice this is a very typical question. So we've got a bag containing marbles, and you're told it's with or without replacement, and then working out some situation. Very common. This is the first part of the question. Part B goes through a tree diagram, and noticing these words like with replacement, both, that's very important here. Identifying those key trigger words, now I talk about that in one of my videos, which I'll put up above, really can then help you identify what kind of probability question it is. If you get stuck with these kinds of things, then I did an all of iGCSE probability 2025 edition, which you can also check out above. On to sequences. Now this is slightly down here at 59%, so again, not that likely to appear, but notice it can be a ton of marks if it does. So this is a 5-mark question, and this is quite typical. They give you a table of different sequences. One may be linear, one may not be, and then you have to work out the nth term or a missing term. Very typical. If it does appear, it's going to be a ton of marks for you. On to statistics. Now, one thing to be aware of with paper 2 compared to paper 4 is now we've got non-calculator and calculator, and there's still a tendency for statistics questions to go into paper 4, but it doesn't mean they can put something in paper 2. This is actually a paper 2 example of a statistics question. Notice they've got some marks here, essentially a frequency table, and they give you the mean mark and you have to work backwards. So they're being sneaky with Cambridge these days. It's not like, for example, in the past where they said probability and statistics and transformations all on paper 4. Not anymore. They can sneak in these topics on a non-calculator on paper 2, and you need to be ready for it. On to coordinate geometry. So this is up at 118%, so pretty likely to appear. It's in my now certain category. And this word here, perpendicular, this is something you should practice a lot. And if someone came to me and said, okay, if there's one topic I need to get ready for, which should it be? Perpendicular bisectors, or working out perpendicular lines, is probably the biggest topic and can give you 3 or 4 marks very easily, where you could have lost those very easily. So going from a B to an A or an A to A star, this is a quick fix you can do. If you want to know what to fix, then do check out my free iGCSE roadmap, which you can get down in the description. You submit your email, and then you can get that big document and pinpoint those problems, what you get. Percentage calculations here down at 65%, so it's not so common on paper 2 non-calculator. They do put it on paper 4, but there's no reason, for example, a simple interest question they can put on paper 2. Notice you can work out 3% of 150 pretty straightforwardly, and then you can just add that on over 6 years. On to indices. So this is 88% almost certain. I would say that indices, again, is a quick fix topic. If you practice negative indices, fractional indices, working with indices equations, you can pick up 2 marks here towards the end of the paper as well. So notice this question here is question 19. By just knowing your facts here, for example, here, 27 to the power of minus 2/3, easy question, 1 over the positive version. And then we go, the bottom number, the 3, that means the cube root of 27. The top number tells you to square. So we get 1 over 3 squared, which is equal to 1 over 9. Notice how quickly I did that question. That's a 2-mark question. Did that in pretty much 20 seconds. That saves you then time for those more difficult questions towards the end. On to fraction skills, which is slightly down at 165%. Now we have a paper 2 dedicated non-calculator paper. You know there's going to be at least one or two fraction questions in. This is very typical, so combining a little bit of BidMaths with your fraction skills. If you don't know what I'm talking about with BidMaths, again, it's when you do multiplying first, when you do subtraction first, so they can sneak in more than one topic, these multi-topic questions, into your exam as well, and you need to be ready for it. Now, this is the frequency analysis I've just gone through here. So if you look down this list, you should be prioritizing the very top here. Now, calculator skills, of course, is now out. Again, I've always taken the last 15 papers into account here. So calculator skills obviously can't be used on a non-calculator paper, but you should be practicing fraction skills. They can put statistics in. We saw that, and coordinate geometry. So you should be making sure you're ready for those top 3 topics. Then we come into the almost certain. Again, that's a big area here. Some topics we haven't talked about, like sets and Venn diagrams. For example, we haven't talked about vectors and trigonometry, particularly those A and A star skills. If you want to get those, you need to be mastering those almost certain topics. Then we move on to often, and then we move on to the sometimes at the bottom. If you work in this order, you are prioritizing the most frequent topics that appear, and that's going to help you a ton. Now, by using my predicted papers, so I've done a predicted paper 2 and predicted paper 4 in my ultimate A star bundle. Now there's a mock edition and there's a final exam edition. So you get 2 sets of predicted papers. So that's great to have a mock. That's your baseline, finding where those gaps are. And then literally days before the exam, you can take the final exam edition. And that then gives you a good idea of, okay, am I working an A? Am I working an A star before I go into the exam, and having that exam confidence? You can get that for a bargain price of $79. So you're getting 2 predicted papers with all the solutions, the working going all the way through every single question, and that will make you more than prepared and ready for the exam. Okay, on to paper 4 here, and no surprise here that certain is in the volume surface area of 3D shapes. And notice this has often come up in my comments actually, is about frustums. So they are back. They used to be quite popular a few years ago, and now they've brought it back. And even more sneakily here, they've actually done this not with a cone, which was always quite typical, but they've done this with a pyramid. So if you haven't revised what a frustum is, again, this is quite a common AA star topic, and please do go back and look through this because this is a very up-to-date question. On to quadratics, slightly down here at 53%. But the thing with quadratics, they can sneak into other topics. They can sneak into area of 2D shapes, which we are going to talk about. They can sneak into speed, distance, time, which is how they've sneaked into this question here. And usually they set up some kind of variable, and then you have to show the quadratic comes out of the information. If you struggle with those questions, you do need to practice them because they can be a ton of marks. Notice it's 5 marks before we even solve the quadratic. So doesn't come up always that often, but if it does, it's going to be a ton of marks, and that's why I mention it in this video. On to differentiation, it's typically been a paper 4. There's no reason why they can't put it on paper 2 or paper 4 with non-calculated skills. Notice this cubic here, they ask you for the derivative and then work out the gradient at a specific point. 4 marks, that actually is some of the 4 easiest marks you can get on the paper, even though they put it towards the end of the paper. That's one of my key tips here. Sketching graphs used to be a traditional topic they used to put in iGCSE 0580, and they've now put it back in here as well. So we've got a cubic here, we need to work out some values. Again, this is a typical paper 4 question, calculator question. And then once you've plotted that on a graph, then they get you to do something with it, either read a tangent off or solve a cubic equation by drawing a straight line. Those kind of questions are coming back into paper 4, generally only paper 4 here, so make sure you've revised this topic carefully. On to probability. Now this is slightly down 106%, but this essentially tells you they'll put a probability question on paper 2 and on paper 4. So it's probably one of the most important topics and one that most students struggle with. So if you're aiming for that A star grade, getting great at probability quickly is going to be really, really important for you. Now I'm going to go through this in my last night cram session. So if you're interested in that, again, links down in the description and pinned comment, where I'll go through my top 5 questions. I can promise you one of them will be a probability question. That you see it right down here, because we've got a statistics question, work out the estimate of a mean, which is coming up most years, so please do revise that for a whopping 4 marks, and then the probability comes in afterwards. So a bit like quadratics, it sneaks its way into a lot of different questions. Onto statistics itself, which is no surprise that's here at 188%, because it's often 2 questions. Again, we've got an easier question here with a stem and leaf diagram. Please do revise this because it's really badly taught for some reason. And notice we're just working out mode and median and standard things, bit of percentages, which I'll talk about, of course, as well. And then they might give you a cumulative frequency question. So be aware of this. Statistics is a broad range and they can give you a lot of different things. And with my frequency analysis, there's generally 2 questions in this category. On to percentage calculations themselves. Again, whopping 206%, which generally goes in an easier question, a harder question. One thing I've noticed with the recent paper 4s from 2025 onwards, they're doing less of these really big questions like A, B, C, D, E, but it means that they pop up in 2 smaller questions across the paper. This is very common here. They give you the original price is reduced by 15%. They give you the sale price, you have to work backwards. A lot of my community have struggled with questions like this because they're not reading the question, they're not reading, they need to work out the original price and working out by dividing by the multiplier. If that doesn't mean anything to you, then please do watch my all of iGCSE percentages video, which goes through that in quite a lot of detail. So here are my frequency analysis for paper 4. So you notice there's quite a lot of certain questions in here. Things that I haven't even mentioned, like sine, cosine rule and functions. Those should be things that you're revising as well. You should take a screenshot of this, work your way through from the top all the way through down below, and that makes sure you are fully prepared for what's coming up. If you want to join me for my April intensive, so I have an April intensive at the end of April, so hopefully you're watching this before the end of April, and you can join me and 14 other students, and what we're going to do is go through the last sprint before the real iGCSE exams, making sure you can answer those grade discriminator questions, making sure you know exactly what's going to appear in your exam, and the most effective revision with me, 15 years of experience teaching iGCSE, so I'm going to make sure you're fully prepared to make sure you get the A and A-star grade that you deserve. So if you're interested in the predicted papers, then the link is in front of you at the moment, and also linked in the pinned comment and the description down below. If you need to practice all of iGCSE percentages, which I just mentioned, then check out the video in front of you.